My name is Adrian Cole, and for most of my life, people only saw the wheelchair before they saw me. I was born into one of the wealthiest families in the city, the Coles, owners of coal industries, but to most of the world, I was the disabled heir. The boy who would never take over, the man who would always depend on others. My father, Raymond Cole, didn't help much either. He was strict, distant, and obsessed with strength. When I was 10, after the accident that took my ability to walk, he stopped calling me his successor and started calling me his responsibility. After college, I told him I wanted to work at the family company to prove I could contribute. He laughed, not cruelly, but with disbelief. "Adrian, you don't understand how business works," he said. "You're not ready." But I was. I'd studied hard, learned the systems, and planned for this moment for years. So when he finally, reluctantly agreed to let me start as an entry-level analyst, not as a favor, but as a test, I promised myself I would change how everyone saw me. My first day arrived with the usual nervous excitement. I wore a crisp suit, rolled myself through the lobby, and tried to ignore the stares. Some people smiled politely, others looked away quickly. I was used to that. People often didn't know whether to treat me like a colleague or a fragile object. Everything went smoothly that morning. I introduced myself to the team, dove into spreadsheets, and kept my head down. Then, during lunch, something strange happened. Something that would change everything about how people saw me and what they thought they knew about my family. I had just finished eating in the break room when the cleaner, a quiet middle-aged woman named Rosa, came in. She smiled kindly. "You must be the boss's son," she said, recognizing me. I nodded. "Yes, but today I'm just another employee." She chuckled. "Good attitude. Most people with your last name wouldn't touch a desk that wasn't made of gold." We both laughed. Then her expression suddenly changed. Her eyes narrowed, staring at my neck. "Mr. Cole," she said softly, "may I ask, where did you get that mark?" I frowned. "What mark?" She stepped closer, hesitation in her movements, and pointed to the small, faint symbol near my collarbone, one I'd never paid much attention to. It looked like a burn scar, shaped like a half-circle. I'd had it since childhood. "I've seen that before," she whispered. "When I was younger. On a boy who used to live in the orphanage my sister worked at." Her words startled me. "An orphanage?" She nodded slowly. "Yes." It was the same mark, a birthmark, shaped like that half-moon. His name was Adam. Adam Cole, I think. My heart stopped. "That's impossible," I said. "I am Adrian Cole." She shook her head. "No. That boy, Adam, went missing 22 years ago. The police searched everywhere, but they never found him." I felt dizzy. "Are you sure it was that name?" Rosa nodded firmly. "I remember because your father came one day, offering money to the orphanage. He said it was a donation in memory of a child they'd lost. Everyone thought it was kind of him. But now," she hesitated, "that mark. I'd recognize it anywhere." I couldn't speak. My hands trembled as I adjusted my collar. Could it be true? My earliest memory was waking up in a hospital after the car accident, my father saying, "You're safe now, son." But before that, nothing. Just flashes, strange rooms, laughter, the smell of something burning. I left early that day, my mind spinning. That night, I went through the family records, old photos, anything that could give me answers. But something was off. There were no baby pictures of me before the age of 4. Every childhood photo looked staged, like a story rewritten halfway through. The next morning, I confronted my father. He was in his office, staring out the window as always. "You left work early," he said without turning around. "Not a good impression." I ignored the jab. "Who am I?" He finally looked at me. "Excuse me. Who am I really?" I said louder. "Rosa told me about a boy from an orphanage. One who had this same mark." I pulled down my collar. She said his name was Adam Cole. His expression didn't change, but his eyes flickered for just a second, enough to confirm everything. "You were adopted, Adrian," he said slowly. "We planned to tell you when you were older, but after the accident, your mother thought it would hurt you more than help you." "Adopted?" I whispered. So I'm not even your son? You are my son, he said sharply. In every way that matters. We gave you everything, a name, a home, a future. Isn't that enough? I felt something inside me break. You built a life on lies, Father. You didn't save me, you erased me. He sighed, rubbing his temples. You wouldn't have survived in that place. I did what I had to. I left without another word. The truth burned hotter than any pain I'd ever known. In the days that followed, the company buzzed with rumors. Someone had overheard part of our argument, and soon everyone knew the disabled heir wasn't even a biological Cole. Some whispered that I'd lose my position, others that I'd quit. But I didn't quit. I showed up every day, worked harder than ever, and proved that my worth didn't come from a last name, it came from perseverance. Weeks later, Rosa approached me again. I'm sorry if I caused trouble, she said softly. I smiled. You didn't cause trouble, Rosa. You gave me the truth. She hesitated. Do you hate him for what he did? I thought for a moment. No, I said finally. He gave me a new life. But now, it's my turn to build it my way. And that's exactly what I did. I may not be the heir my father imagined, but I am something stronger. A man who found himself not through privilege or power, but through truth. Because sometimes, the mark that others see as a scar is really the one thing that reminds you who you truly are.